CBS News poll shows former President Donald Trump has a huge lead over Nikki Haley in the upcoming South Carolina primary, even though that is her home state. The polls found Trump's approval as president eclipses Haley's job as governor more than 20 points. CBS News political correspondent Caitlin Huey-Burns joins us there from Columbia, South Carolina. Caitlin, how do you explain Trump's popularity over Haley in her own home state?
Hey, Lilia, great to see you. Well, this is Haley's home state, as you mentioned, but it may as well be Donald Trump's, given what we're seeing in this poll. 35-point lead. And then when you dig deeper, you can kind of understand why the electorate is favoring him. They tell us in the poll that they believe he did his approval ratings as president beat hers as governor by about 20 points. And that kind of jives with voters that we've been talking to over the course of the past few days and earlier in the cycle, where they said they liked Haley as governor but liked Trump as president. So that's kind of what she's up against. And you just see a much more kind of Trump-aligned Republican Party here in South Carolina that really tells the story of how he's really had a firm grasp on the GOP across the country.
That's so interesting. I mean, to see how that's all evolved. But let's talk about the RNC and Trump's nominations to run the RNC. What can you tell us? What's the latest? I know that there's been a bit of a house cleaning there.
Yeah, and this is intended to put in people in the RNC who are very loyal to him, who know him very well and have worked with him, or in some cases, a family member. He is endorsing Lara Trump, who is his daughter-in-law. She's married to Eric Trump, his son, as a co-chair. He's also installing the North Carolina Republican Party chair as RNC co-chair, or at least endorsing him. He is someone who has echoed Trump's false claims about the election in 2020. About election fraud, false claims about election fraud in 2020. And he's also asking for his campaign advisor, Chris LaCivita, to join as kind of a chief operating officer. And that would be kind of a dual role with the committee and the campaign. The bigger picture here, though, is that he has a lot of issues with Ronna McDaniel and a lot of issues with the RNC and the way it's had some really dismal fundraising numbers. But this is, intended to align the RNC with Donald Trump as he appears on a glide path to the nomination. Now, it should be noted that none of this can really happen unless they are actually elected, and we are expecting Ronna McDaniel to step down after the South Carolina primary, which takes place here next Saturday.
Caitlin, it's remarkable to see how it seems that anybody who just criticizes or slightly goes off course from aligning with Trump perfectly is out. I mean, what does this mean for the centrists or the more moderate Republicans? Is there a space for them? Where do you see this going?
Well, as Nikki Haley is finding out, there is not a lot of love within the Republican Party for the kind of brand she is selling, at least in the Republican primary here. But it's also important to note that, Trump and his allies have really had a hold on the state parties, and that has really made a big difference in these primaries.
That's the strategy then. Caitlin Huey-Burns, thank you so much. Great to have you.